Hey, everybody! Have you ever stopped to think that the planet we walk on, Earth itself, holds so many strange secrets they sound like they belong in a science fiction movie, yet they're 100% real? Today I've gathered 10 absolutely incredible facts about our world, things most people never hear about in school or in history books. From a hidden ocean trapped beneath ice to trees that literally drink coal from places where time seems to stop to a glimpse beyond the atmosphere. Each of these tidbits will change the way you look at the blue marble we call home. So get your mind ready, because over the next few minutes we'll dive into the depths of the seas, climb mountains that look stripped of everything, and even take a leap into outer space. Let's go. The subglacial ocean, Lake Vostok. Fact. There is an entire ocean we can see it lies completely covered by permanent ice and has never touched sunlight. How it works. Deep in Antarctica, beneath roughly 4 kilometers of ice, sits Lake Vostok. Though called the lake, it holds water equivalent to about 12% of the world's oceans. That water has been sealed for more than 15 million years, creating an isolated ecosystem that may harbor microorganisms we've never encountered. Why? It's amazing. If we could pierce the ice, we might discover life forms that evolved completely apart from the biosphere we know, offering a glimpse of how life could adapt on extraterrestrial icy moons like Europa or an extra tidbit. When the Russian Vostok probe finally broke through the ice in 1998, there was no visible boom of algae or bacteria on the surface. The extreme pressure and lack of light keep the ecosystem ultra-stable, almost like a biological time capsule from pre-glacial Earth. The mountain that drinks coal. Fact. There's a mountain that literally sucks carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Location: Mount Karst-Kokstein in Slovenia. Its soil consists of highly porous limestone that dissolves when it meets acidic water. Rainwater rich in coal percolates through the mountain's fissures. The calcium carbonate then converts into bicarbonate, which rivers carry to the ocean, where it can become calcite rock again. This process removes up to 2 million tons of coal per year from the air. Why it's amazing? It works like a giant natural filter, a solution that has been operating for millions of years without any external energy. In an era of climate change, it's a perfect example of nature already sequestering carbon for us. Extra tidbit: recent studies suggest that some underground limestone formations could store as much as 500 billion tons of roughly 10% of current global annual emissions. The deepest point in the ocean, the Chamber of Maria. Fact. The deepest known spot in Earth's oceans is in the Mariana Trench, but the Chamber of Maria, discovered in 2022 by an Israeli unmanned submersible, depth 11,331 meters, about 37 times the height of Mount Everest. What was found? Extremophile microorganisms, archaeobacteria, that use sulfide-based chemosynthesis for energy. They thrive under pressures 1,100 times greater than at the surface and temperatures just above plus 2 degrees Celsius. Why it's amazing? It proves that life can flourish in conditions once thought impossible. Every new species discovered in these abyssal zones expands our knowledge of marine biodiversity and reinforces that the oceans still hide colossal secrets. Extra tidbit: the pressure there is so high that organic matter doesn't form air bubbles. Human divers couldn't breathe even if they got close, because blood would boil instantly. Only pressure-proof vehicles can survive such depths. The singing forest. Fact. In Alaska's Dream Valley, certain Douglas fir trees produce a sound that resembles a choral or violin when the wind whistles through them. Physical explanation: each trunk contains hollow chambers filled with air at different pressures. When wind vibrates the bark, these chambers resonate like organ pipes, creating tuned notes. Why this amazing? It is an example of biomusic, nature itself generating melodies without human intervention. Musicians have even sampled these sounds for ambient compositions. Extra tidbit: in the same area, black-capped crows have learned to mimic these sounds, using them as territorial signals. The forest therefore functions as a complex acoustic communication system between plants and animals. The ice desert, polar deserts. Fact. Both the North Pole and the South Pole are technically deserts. They receive less than 250 millimeters of precipitation per year. What this means: despite being covered in ice, these places get less rain or snowfall than the Sahara, which receives about 100 millimeters annually. The deficit lies in the lack of moisture. Frozen water doesn't evaporate like it does in hot deserts, but it also rarely precipitates. Why it's amazing? Counterintuitively, one of the world's largest deserts is frozen. Moreover, these deserts hold 90% of Earth's ice, making them critical for global climate regulation. Extra tidbit: At the center of Antarctica, atmospheric pressure is 3% lower than sea level. This drops the boiling point of water to about 94 degrees Celsius instead of the usual 100 degrees Celsius. The methane-raised Lake Kivu fact. Lake Kivu, straddling the border of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, contains a massive dissolved methane layer that could, if released, turn the lake into an explosive methane snake. Mechanism: anaerobic microorganisms at the lake's bottom decompose organic matter, producing methane that dissolves into the deep waters. When the lake is disturbed by earthquakes or volcanic activity, the methane can erupt in bubbles, causing subaquatic explosions. Why it's amazing. The lake is a natural energy reservoir. In 2010, scientists estimated that the dissolved methane could generate enough electricity to power the entire region for decades if harvested safely. Extra tidbit: in 1976, a submarine eruption released a gas cloud so large that the UNS alert system was triggered as if it were a nuclear event. Fortunately, the blast stayed confined to the lake, but it highlighted how volatile our planet can be. Fact: in Sequoia National Park, California, giant sequoias change color over the course of a day due to a biological fluorescence phenomena. How it happens: the tree's bark contains pigments called flavonoids that absorb ultraviolet light in the morning and re-emit part of it as soft blue-green light at dusk, creating a faint glow visible only under low light conditions. Why it's amazing. The trees appear to vibrate as the sunlight fades, as if they possess a life of their own. The effect is being studied to develop environmental sensors that detect changes in UV radiation. Extra tidbit: some Native American tribes believed these glows were ancestral spirits guiding travelers at night. Today, scientists use low-energy cameras to map these zones and protect the oldest sequoias. Phosphorus rain over Scotland. Fact: during certain spring weeks, parts of Scotland experience phosphorus rain, where tiny particles of phosphorus are carried aloft and fall as a fine coating on lakes and streams. Source: these particles originate from submarine volcanic eruptions in the North Atlantic that release phosphorus-bearing aerosols. Ocean currents transport the aerosols hundreds of kilometers before atmospheric moisture precipitates them. Why it's amazing. Phosphorus is essential for life. DNA, ATP. This rain enriches otherwise nutrient-poor aquatic ecosystems, spurring the growth of algae and plankton that form the base of marine food webs. Extra tidbit: in 1995, biologists recorded a massive bloom of blue-green phytoplankton in a Scottish loch right after a phosphorus rain event. The bloom lasted only a few weeks but boosted oxygen production by up to 30% during that period. Africa's drifting apart. Fact: the African continent is slowly splitting away from the rest of the landmass, creating a 2 centimeters per year gap between Africa and Eurasia, because the African tectonic plate is moving eastward at about 2.15 centimeters a year, while the Eurasian plate slides westward at roughly 1.5 centimeters. This motion generates the Alpine Atlantic Fault, which could eventually turn the Mediterranean Sea into an open ocean, much like it was before modern continental configurations. Why it's amazing. In 100 million years, the Mediterranean might disappear, leaving a dry basin that would dramatically alter the climate of both Europe and Africa. Extra tidbit: several abandoned oil wells along the Mediterranean's margins, now submerged, have turned into saline lagoons that may host endemic life forms, serving as natural laboratories for studying isolated ecosystems. The first photogram of the planet. Fact: the first complete image of Earth taken from space was captured in 1967 by the Apollo 8 mission and is famously known as Earth. Capture details: while the command module orbited the moon, astronaut William Anders pointed his camera toward Earth, revealing a blue-white sphere hanging against the blackness of space. This was the first time humanity saw the entire planet in a single frame. Cultural impact: the image sparked the environmental movement of the 1970s. The famous phrase, "we are all passengers on a tiny blue boat," became popular shortly thereafter. Artists, musicians, and politicians adopted the photo as a symbol of planetary unity. Extra tidbit: although this picture is iconic, it doesn't show the entire globe. The part in the moon's shadow is missing. The first truly complete photo full globe coverage was taken in 1972 by Apollo 17, yet the Earthrise remains the emotional milestone that changed how we view our world. Host's softer, contemplative tone. Wow. Just thinking that Earth hides a subglacial ocean under 4 kilometers of ice mountains that drink coal lakes that seeing ice deserts. Fluorescent forests and even phosphorus rain falling from the sky shows us that our planet is constantly moving even when we can see it. Every fact we explored today reminds us that nature has tricks that science is still uncovering. And at the deepest level, this tells us not merely occupants of a static world, we part of a living, dynamic, sometimes astonishing system. If any of these facts made your brain go, whoa, then I've done my job. Now it's your turn. Leave a comment below telling us which fact blew your mind the most, or share a cool tidbit, that didn't make this list. Hit the like button if you want to see more out-of-the-box discoveries like these. Subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss the next episodes where we explore the unknown, from black holes to glow-in-the-dark microalgae. Also, check out the videos on the right, the 10 biggest ocean floor mysteries, and how Earth changed over 4.5 billion years. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next incredible curiosity might be right beneath your feet. Until next time, explorers.